we're back here at Gardens Oval for the final quarter between the Waratahs Footy Club and the Palmerston Magpies. Waratahs Warriors. They've played like that today. They've been sensational. Scoreboard reading 18-7, 115 to 5-11-41. Believe it or not, a really good goal-scoring quarter for the Palmerston Magpies, where they kicked 4 goals that quarter. They've been struggling for the first half of the game, but unfortunately, the Waratahs kicked 9, with Brendan Favola sitting 7 next to his name, and Kane Pettifer with 5, as we're looking to get underway yet again. And there has been a couple of mismatches going on. Palmerston outfit starting to move their players around a bit. The likes of James has moved into the full forward line. He was playing down back earlier. And Liston has been marking Brendan Favola. Just having a little chat down there as well. Ed Cowlishaw and Tavis Perry are your callers for this afternoon here on AFL NTV as we get underway yet again. High up and under kick there from McEwen, heading in the Parker direction. Good kick away, that time there by the number 28 of Michelle. Plays on quickly. That's Whitelaw. Good work there by Hunter. And a good strong mark nearly taken there by the likes of James. Plays on quickly to Pratt. Nearly pinged with it. Going in hard again is Kroger. Does he know any other way as Culpet hits the big ruckman in Konecka. A long, high, looping kick to Parker. And he marks unattended. Smith gets there in the end. He chips over the top and finds Seddon. And Seddon will line up for his second of the day.
Yeah, it's 60 metres then. Simon Seddon just worked really, really hard once he saw the turnover it occurred, and no one from Palmerston had the engine to go with him.
So Simon Seddon, hard-working midfielder for the Waratahs outfit, will line up from roughly 25 metres out, slightest of angles. As the sun's starting to bake Gardens Oval here today. Birds are chirping. Good crowd, handy crowd. Of course, here to see the likes of Brendan Favola strut his stuff. He's got 7 next to his name, and Simon Seddon now has 2 next to his. As the scoreboard moves along to 19-7, 121 to 5-11-41. So we just have a look at the scoreboard there, and they've been playing with us today. We're getting the scoreboard right.
Yeah, and Palmerston can ill afford to have another 9-goal quarter kick against them. They've really got to show some pace here and dig deep and make sure they're structuring up as well as they can. Take some positives into next week.
It's Wilson, a little toe poke, but it goes to the avail and the ascendancy of Culpet as he tries to find Connolly. Sandery's there as well. Well tackled there by Cook, holding the ball. Cook probably didn't need to go on with it, but he plays on quickly. Shows the ball. Oh, just lost the handle on the ball. A little bit slippery. Konecka loping around, gets it off to Seddon. Maybe taken high. Good tackle again there by Palmerston. Another one coming in, stripping the ball. Great work there by Hunter. And a bit of feeling creeping into the game.
Yeah, Kirsten Hunter there on Simon Seddon.
Magpies not taking a step back. And a reversal of the kick, and the Waratahs look to make them pay, with Favola ending up with it. Just Heath Culpet having a few words there to a couple of boys in McLean and also Pratt. So a bit of feeling with it. They had the ascendancy then and they threw it away, Palmerston. And Brendan Favola right in his range here. He'll kick from just outside 50. So distance won't be a problem, we know that. It's just whether he'll get the right curve on the ball. So Brendan Favola takes all the time he wants. Has been known maybe to take nearly up to a minute and a half to kick the ball. He is taking his time. Slow, deliberate run up. Winds up. Big, booming kick. And pushes it to the side for a behind.
Gee, that travelled a long way, didn't it? That was a good 60-metre kick there. couple of steps really. Didn't even have that much momentum through the footy.
No, fantastic kick. And it's through for a behind. So they now move along to 19-8, 122. Don't know what
and
this...
Bevan Whitelaw are back into it.
Well,
Let's give him a couple there too.
Oh, here he goes. He's taking on two at once. He's just doing the old jumper punch routine on both of them at the moment. Yeah, he and Whitelaw aren't the best of mates at the moment. Happy to give it to him as Stewart goes in hard. They move it inside the centre square. Wilson plays on quickly. Pratt. Worm-burning kick. Finds James. Looking to leak up with someone. Goes back to Wilson. So went forward 10 metres. Went back 5. And away they go, Palmerston inside the corridor. Just a sloppy kick. Smart with a sloppy attempt of a mark. Play on, says the umpire. Letting him go at the moment. Palmerston. Long booming kick. Good effort there. Plenty of players around this scrimmage, jumping all over the ball. Philo's there as well. They get it out, snap around the corner. And it's through for a behind. So tired players out there at the moment, just bursting it forward. Nice build up there though by the Magpies.
Yeah, really going to hurt them that they've got two players that can't come back on in Davey and their captain Little.
So they burst out of defence. That time through Philo. Trying to tap it forward there is Parker, but to no avail. Jumping all over it are the Magpies as they move it up beautifully through Stewart. So Stewart, long kick, looking for a target, and a fine mark is taken, and Palmerston will have another chance to get a major on the board.
Yeah, Dylan Stewart out on a wing has been another shining light for Palmerston today. He's played in the Division 1 side last week and has come up, and I thought he's played quite a handy game.
So the Palmerston Magpies looking to get some more credibility out there on that scoreboard. They're taking it up to them, especially with the physicality out there, which is great to see. But a lacklustre kick puts it through for a behind. It's been the tale of the day as they go to 5-12-42. So the Waratahs kick it out beautifully, linking up well. Kellett, Mosquito will look to get this one. Handball just doesn't hit the target there from Connolly, putting great pressure on Emery out there on the outer side. Good pick up there. Fend off, using the body well now are the Magpies. James just pops it up, and a good strong mark. And this is what the Magpies need, a good strong mark taken there by Perry, and he'll line up from, roughly 40 metres out, and that was a nice little build-up.
Yeah, another nice little build-up. They've played some good passages to play the Pies, and maybe it's another positive that they've actually created so many scoring shots from limited forward 50 entries. You know, they've had, 17 scoring shots, which isn't that bad. They probably would have only had 30 tops forward 50 entries, so they're creating scoring shots 50% of the time it goes in there. It's quite a high percentage.
And Miss Hale Perry kicks another one for the Magpies as they move along to 6-12-48 to 19-8-22. We're just going to cross-check what's going on with the scoreboard after this game to get those final scores right with you, but according to us at the moment, it is 19-8.
They're giving Fev a few extra, are they?
I don't know. I know the Tars have only kicked one for this quarter. And they're sitting on 18-7 at three-quarter time. But as James Ray looks to push them forward yet again. Free kick. They're a bit high. James Ray moves it onto the outer side. Parker's been good for him today as well. We're into number 23.
Absolutely.
Leading up well off the half-forward line. Waylon Manson still trying to get some touch on the ball. As Audio has been fantastic holding him quiet today. And the target of Brendan Favola just misses. It's hard for a full forward to mark when it's at his feet, isn't it? But the delivery, you would have to say, for the big fella today has been superb from the midfield of the Waratahs outfit. As the ball gets looked to be thrown in. Tapped down by Ward. Sharking the ball there is Pratt. Using his body well. Hand passing to himself. On the outer side, I should say it was Whitelaw. They move it quickly, but plenty of Waratahs under it. Just couldn't pick it up at the right time. And the Magpies look to go through Emery. But they're just under too much pressure from the Waratahs. Seddon switches around, a nice snap, but it's through for a behind. So you think that both teams are really starting to feel the pinch at the moment with the heat of the conditions.
Yeah, but in saying that, Pies are fighting it out, and they certainly haven't thrown in the towel here, and they're still attacking the contest with vigour. But just Waratah's pressure through the midfield has just been outstanding today.
So plenty of pressure that time applied there by Pettifer to try and keep it in their forward line. Ray punches it away from the likes of Hunter, and it will be thrown in for a boundary from the boundary. Healthy crowd, and it is good to see. As the ball's thrown in. Tap down and a free kick going the way of the Magpies. With a ruckman infringement.
Big Conan getting a kick.
Wilson. Oh, dangerous kick as Parker's in the area. Forces the contest as well. But away they go, the Magpies, this time through audio. Finds the mark-up target. And away they go again, kicking into the man on the mark. Just lazy stuff. Mosquito holding it up. Gets it out. Waylon Manson into midfield, which is good to see. A run on the ball. Much needed for him to get some touch into this game. Guy with the ball. From outside 50, nice lace-up kick. Drops what he should have taken there in Perry. Puts himself under immense pressure. They get away with it. Advantage paid. And they've got a goal this time through Vernicombe.
Yeah, again, not another pretty good build-up there by the Maggies again. Perry should have easily what he should have taken, but they got the goal in the end. And, yeah, they're fighting it out, no doubt about it.
So 7-12. 54. Plays 19-9-123. We're just checking that scoreboard at the moment. A couple of goals on there that might not be there. Doesn't really matter at this stage of the game as Waratahs are in a comfortable position as Waylon Manson goes into the ruck. This is a great idea by Heath Culpert. He's hard to coach whilst you're playing in the game at the same time as Mosquito on the wing. Hits up the target and does it beautifully. And away they go again, inside the forward 50. Seddon and Favola linking up absolutely beautifully. And Fev is going to be lining up for number 8.
He just waited, didn't he, Fev? Just held his lead, waited for the space to open up. And you get hit like that, you're never going to miss. Seddon's probably given him a few today.
I reckon he has. And he's kicked a couple himself. He's had a great game. Probably best on ground last week. And Brendan Favola puts through another one. That is number 8 for the day. And the party continues for the Waratahs Footy Club as they scoot along to 129 to 7-12-54. And the Waratahs in complete control. They've got Southern Districts next week. Who does Palmerston have next week? That's an interesting matchup as well to see.
I think we've got St Mary's.
Oh, that'll be a great game indeed. They've been up and down this year so far, the Green Machine.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully we get them at a good time and knock them off next week.
And a handy acquisition in Darryl White as well. Can you believe it? He's 38. It still looks like he's 21.
He was sensational last night.
McLean putting pressure on the Waratahs outfit into midfield, but a high up and under kick finds McEwen. He switches the play. Plenty of pressure on the kicks at the moment. McEwen again around this scrimmage. Whitelaw gets it out, and away they go. Nice looking kick by Hunter. Wilson went up with one hand when he could have gone with two. And good work there by Nicholas as he switches play. Dangerous kick. They made it look simple. Mosquito on the outer side, linking up with Parker. And away they go again. Runnels caught behind the play there. Palmerston under pressure. Good work by Smith. Favola pings the player in Smith. And that's the stuff that we want to see, the second efforts. And he does it in patches, but if recruiters are watching, he does have the ability to do it.
He's what Brenton Toy calls an apex predator, Brendan Favola. He works very, very hard when he knows there's a chance to get a goal. And in that situation, you know, his explosive pace over 5 metres was absolutely outstanding for a big man.
So Brendan Favola. Lovely long deliberate run up. And this is for goal number 9. Goal umpire does not have to move, and number 9 is on the board for the big Fevelenko.
Yeah, the scoreboard's starting to get messy now for the Maggies. Looks like it's going to be a 100-point blowout, which will do their confidence no good whatsoever. But surprisingly, as the structure of the league's worked out, I still think we're only one game out of the 8, Edo.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Sorry.
It's amazing. Well, out of the 8, yeah. Well, you're definitely in the 8. I was going to say.
Well and truly.
But you're right, though. It's amazing, isn't it? You're still a chance to play finals footy. It is only early. I can't wait until we can stop saying it is only early. Looking forward to round 10, round 11 when it's really starting to sort itself out. But these are the sort of games where, you know, Palmerston, Tiwi, Southern Districts can really state their claim to cement themselves. And over the next couple of weeks, I think the final 5 is really going to start to take shape on who are the pretenders and who are the real deal this year, as James Ray kicks it inside the forward 50. Bowie Runnels, what a sensational leap there. And a big chance for him to get his name on the board yet again. And believe it or not, he's only got 1 goal next to his name. Kicked 11 last week.
Yeah, been really well held by Smith, and he's actually had quite a few opportunities, Runnels, but he's been beaten in a lot of one-on-one contests. And even, you know, if he does kick this and Smith has kept him to 2, that's a fantastic effort for a young 17 or 18-year-old to do that against a quality player that's come off kicking 11.
Well, that's exactly right. As Bo Runnels comes in, and it's through for a behind. One of the rare misses for the Tars today. 22-9. 141 plays the likes of 7-12-54. As a missed kick there by Runnels as he chips over and tries to get the 7-point play, and it's through for a behind. So 22-10, 142. Play 7-12-54. And Palmerston will try again. Very lucky not to get a goal scored against them there. As Waylon Manson jumps up. And a beautiful mark taken there by the AFL prospect. He is looking good, the sensation from Kununurra, for an epic moment of the day. And a big torpedo kick heading in the Favola direction, and a good strong tackle as well. Off the ground by Fev, through for a behind. Well, what a fantastic mark there by Waylon Manson. Leapt completely over the top of Audio.
And Audio's had the better of him the whole day, and people will be leaving the ground saying, what a mark by Manson. You know, one contest, and what a highlight. He
literally went straight over the top of him. It was unbelievable. As Smith has the ball deep in the forward pocket for the Waratahs. So the backman looks to clear it. Oh, danger kick. But they do it well there, the Tars, to hold them up. Palmerston, though, spotting the kick. Zwar has it chipped off there. Good run and gun. We think it's Seddon who's wearing number 19 now. As Pettifer tries to chip it around. Seddon ends up with it again. Plenty of time, plenty of poise. Probably curls it too much and it's through for a behind.
Had options in the centre of the ground there too, sort of blaze away a bit.
So another behind kicked.
Just quickly, I like how Manson went back and tried to unleash the big torp after he took that hanger too.
Yeah, I think
wants his name on the board, doesn't he?
I think he needs it. I think he needs it just for a little bit of confidence as well, because he's kicked bags at least of 9 and 8 for the last 4 or 5 weeks, and now he will go goalless today. The way that it's looking, with roughly 6 minutes left on the clock, as they start to build our defence there. That time through Liston along the wing. Audio puts his body on the line there. Mosquito's going to end up with it. Gives it back, and away they go, the Tars. hitting set and lace out. So plenty of players calling out for it, screaming for it, but the lazy defence, and I mean the Magpies were trying to get back in time, but they were just red shirts all over the place. He had his pick of the bunch, and instead he went for the number 22 and Kane Pettifer.
Yeah, I think it was Rowan Smith there that actually went with 22 for Waratahs, but like we said, he tried to zone off and get in hole of Favola, leaving him there. Seddon had the good decision making and skill execution to hit him up.
So 22-13, 145. Plays 7-12-54. It seems as though the scoreboard has completely stopped as we continue on here at Gardens Oval. No, they're still around. It's good to see. As Palmerston switch play inside the centre square, wanted a handball. Little back on the ground, great to see. Had problems with his ankle earlier. And a good mark taken there by the number 13 in Perry. So that's what they needed. They've needed that for most of the day, but just the pressure from the Waratahs outfit and also just some of the skill level there by the Magpies has let them down today. But here comes Perry on a very tight angle. Lovely looking kick though, straight as a die, straight through the middle as well. And a great goal there.
That is a beauty
For the Palmerston Magpies as they go to 8-12-60 to 22-13, 145. Waratahs leading the Magpies. The Palmerston Magpies comfortably here at Gardens Oval in this round 6 clash. You are watching it on AFL NTV. All the coverage can be seen wherever you are around the world on aflnt.com.au, and also you can click on Facebook for updated comments as well and score progress on the AFLNT Facebook page.
Not surprisingly, another situation where Palmerston came through the corridor and got a goal.
It's basic footy, isn't it? But when you're under pressure, or when you feel as though you're under pressure, you do strange things. As Audio is in the midfield as well, linking up with Niddle. Niddle heading in the Verncombe direction again. Mosquito mopping up things for the Tars. Gives it off to Philo. Off hands and it's out of bounds and it will be thrown in. So 22-13, 145 to 8-12-60. Ball thrown in. Good work there by Wilson. Looking for some crummers. Little's going in hard again. Also at the bottom of that pack is Zwar for the Magpies as Wilson sharks it. Snaps on his left. It's out of bounds on the full. Waratah's kick. And Philo to take it.
He moves all right for a big man, doesn't he? He hasn't had a great impact today, but looks like he can actually play a bit.
I should say O'Sullivan takes it. Over there to Philo. And a bit of howdy-do happening again between these two clubs. Umpire in the thick of it.
Zwar's been reported, I think.
So plenty of stuff going on off the ball.
Didn't see that one at all, Edo. Did you pick that up?
No, I was watching the ball on that one. But you can't take your eye off anything here at Gardens Oval today, as there's been plenty of entertainment for the fans. Healthy crowd of roughly about 2,000, you would think. As Connolly has the ball on the outer side in front of Emery. Gets it off to Kellett where he has a paddock. A bit like the radio show on Mix 104.9 every Sunday morning from 7. Hello. And a good lace-up kick there to Parker as well. So they just did that so deliberately. They switch play so effortlessly as well. And they can spot up targets wherever they like. And as I said, Parker has been influential for half-forward flank as a big target as well. You've got the big fellas that we've been talking about in Pettifer and Favola and the likes. But Parker deserves some credit as well today as he lines up for one. Beautiful looking kick. And maybe he could be the guy to take over the full forward role if any of the other guys disappear.
Yeah, to be honest, there hasn't been too many passengers for the Waratahs, have they? They've all had an impact. But the one thing I've really liked about them is they're so composed when they've got the ball. You know, they take their time, they're so deliberate with what they do, they're measured, and generally their execution's been fantastic.
No, that's exactly right. There's still plenty of talk going on in the middle of the ground at the moment. Heath Colbert there Kellett saying a few words as well. Still plenty of feeling. Only a couple of minutes to go in this game, which is good to see. And another goal there takes them to 23-13, 151. As they go again. Quick hand pass away. Sandery under pressure, maybe holding the ball. The umpire goes away with it, and it's on it.
It's on
Little
time here.
goes in hard, and plenty of players. It has been boiling over, simmering for the last couple of quarters. Heath Culpert in there as well.
Geez, they are going hard.
And the jumper taken off. Sandery there as well. The book might be thrown at it. And away they go again as Manson taps it on, and the umpire did the right thing. And this is an interesting thing here as Philo goes up for a big mark and a free kick, play on advantage, and Palmerston's going to get another one through Stewart, and now after all that, Palmerston have got another goal on the board. But my goodness gracious me, some fireworks here on the wing at Gardens Oval with only a minute remaining.
Absolutely. We're actually a bit lucky that didn't get out of hand. There was a few cut lunches thrown there, Edo.
My gosh.
Palmerston have actually finished off this game. Not too bad. They would have outscored them this quarter, nearly.
The worst thing for the players is that we're broadcasting the game, and who knows what AFL-NT and the match review panel want to do with that one. They can analyse all the footage they like. And Culpert's got up a little bit gingerly after that one, as the two captains going hard at it. And who knows what's going to happen at this centre bounce, but young
still
Stewart.
A few words going on down in Waratah's forward line too.
Young Stewart getting a good handy goal there as Manson tries to tap it out. Thrown away there is Culpert, working hard on it. Little going in hard again, diving on the ball. Konitsika hitting in hard, and a good tackle as well. James going in hard again, and the feeling goes on. I'll call the game. You watch the fight there, Trap. Has set and has it.
Yeah, big James, he's not happy at all.
They're going in hard.
Pratt's come in.
And you know, that's what happens when you don't have any hair. You know, you get angry.
Exactly.
A long booming kick, and Favolo's put through a behind. So player's gone on. He's not happy about it. And it's maybe not a smart thing to do all this action in front of the grandstand of the Waratahs cheer squad. As we get on with it. Play goes on. Stewart, the most recent goal kicker for the Magpies, sees it over the boundary line, will be thrown in. Only seconds remaining. It'll be interesting to see what happens after this siren sounds. But it looks like a big victory.
Interesting if Favola has a few mates with his old mate Josh Whitelaw too. Just quietly after the game. Wasn't too happy with him throughout there.
So the game is done and dusted. Final scores according to us here at AFL NTV, 23-14, 152 to 8-12-60. Obviously the umpires will correct what's happening on the scoreboard, and we'll give you the correct score shortly, but that's what we've got here at AFL NTV. Plenty of feeling out there, and isn't it interesting to see Heath Culpert and the likes of Little and Pratt saying g'day and look, everything will be all right. The main reason why they're saying that is because they don't want to get suspended for next week, isn't it? But what an interesting game. Brendan Favola, an absolute highlight. Ended up booting 9 for the game. Kane Pettifer also chipped in with 6 of his own. Outstanding stuff there by the AFL, former AFL stars. But the major question is that Waylon Manson held goals for the first time this season. And also Beau Runnels only kicking 1 as well. Do we read much into it? That's what we need to ask.
Well, it's whether Favola and Pettifer are long-term prospects. You know, and I thought Palmerston fought it out well. You know, their kicking was inaccurate, which didn't help their cause. Their ball usage wasn't as good as the Waratahs, which didn't help their cause. But you're right. Sam Audio definitely had the better of the Manson matchup, and probably was Palmerston's best player.
Easily.
And young Smith, you know, beat Runnels. And quite good delivery.
Categorically too. I mean, Runnels had his chances as well. Took a couple of imposing marks. Waylon Manson showed a little bit what he could do with that great mark, of course, over Audio a little bit earlier. But for Magpies, look, they've got an even more interesting assignment next week. Waratahs take on Southern Districts, of course. They've played the 2 top sides in the last 2 weeks, Palmerston, and they've got convincingly beaten. So this is a benchmark which they need to maintain, and it's probably a good thing early in the season to get that message to them and maybe build on it from here on in. Obviously, they've got some big games coming across. As we said, Waratahs have played Darwin twice already this season, so they've got some handy percentage, but when they're beating teams around them or teams that are looking to play finals this year, it's emphatic when it's up there on the scoreboard, isn't it?
Absolutely, and I played against Nightcliff last week, and like I said to you off air, I thought they were the best side that we've played this year. And that my view hasn't changed watching Waratahs today. The round 11 clash is going to be massive, and it'll be interesting to see who Waratahs have in and who they don't. But even this side today, I think Nightcliff are slightly ahead of Waratahs at this stage of the year. I was really, really impressed with their run through the middle of the ground, and looking forward to round 11.
Well, that's exactly right, isn't it? And we just have a look at some of the games that are coming up over the next week in round 7. Tiwi taking on Darwin. Now, that game has been moved, hasn't it, over here to TIO Stadium because of ground conditions over there on the islands, I'm pretty sure.
Correct.
So that'll be played at Tiwi. That'll be played at TIO Stadium. That game is yet to be decided on what time it'll be played. I'm thinking that will be played at 2:30. And then obviously 5:30 and 7:30 are the games to follow. Nightcliff could be the game that we take next week because we haven't seen them this year on AFL NTV. It all depends on what other broadcasters are doing, of course. Palmerston are taking on St Mary's. That'll be an intriguing match after St Mary's and what they've been going through this year. They had a great win over Darwin, of course, over the weekend. And Southern Districts and Waratahs, probably match of the round in some would say, at Norbuilt Oval, taking the match out to the rural areas, which is great to see. 4 p.m. kickoff on the Sunday afternoon. Who's your tip there, and who are your favourites for these games? Firstly, Tiwi and Darwin. You would think Tiwi will get the job done?
Yeah, it's very hard to mount a case for the Buffaloes, really. They got a lot of unfit guys in their team, and a lot of guys that just aren't up to it, and Tiwi are starting to really build momentum. Can't imagine they'll have a very good matchup for Ephraim or Jerry Cunningham, who have been kicking a lot of goals from this year, so I think Tiwi quite easily. Obviously, Palmerston to bounce back against St Mary's. Yeah, they're going to have Ray Jance, the centre-half back in next week, as well as Dwayne Hamlin, who's probably been our best player so far. There's a chance that Cameron Cloak will come back in as well. So
it'll be strengthening up the side a little bit as well, and obviously with the education that they got here today. St Mary's, I should say, I will look at the round 7 game here. Wanderers and Nightcliff, really intrigued about this one. The cellar dwellers for the last couple of years, Nightcliff, coming up against the reigning premiers in the Wanderers. Should be an intriguing matchup. Be very entertaining to see the likes of Elijah Ware, Daniel Motlop if he's playing as well. Also the other Motlop boys on the other side in Thomas. It is just going to be scintillating stuff. If you can get down to TIO Stadium, for mine, that is one definitely to watch out for. And Southern Districts and the Waratahs, who's your pick there? They're playing on their home Dunghill, Southern, but obviously the Waratahs have got to be favourites.
Oh, absolutely. And I think Fabola's going to be up here all week, I'm led to believe, and is going to play that game as well, so he'll acclimatise to the heat even better and fit in with the team structures a lot better, so you'd have to say that he's a chance to kick a lot of goals. Ryan Houlihan's coming up, as we said before the game, and him and Fabola, it'd be great to see them in action. Houlihan will lace him up every time he gets the footy, so you'd back for Bowler to have a big game and for Waratah to win comfortably.
I must say, though, the AFL National Draft is on the 24th of November. Make sure you check that out. That is on Fox Sports, in fact, so check that out as well, because you can see, obviously, the best territory talent up for grabs. GWS have got an absolute blanket over this year's draft. 11 out of the first 15 picks, but hopefully we see some territory talent. We are in the GWS zone, so hopefully we see some territory boys go on to bigger and better things. Tavis, great to have your company today. Hopefully we'll see you next week or in the next couple of weeks, of course, here on AFL NTV. The final scores again, 23-14, 152, the Waratahs defeating the likes of the Palmerston Magpies, 8-12-60. I'm Mick Cowlishaw, your host, and we're all done and dusted for another big day of football. We'll be back again on AFL NTV next week on aflnt.com.au.